On this episode of Win Over Depression, we will explore simple, practical ways to help decrease the symptoms and reduce the occurrence of depression. We'll begin by understanding the difference between a symptom and an episode of depression. A symptom is a single sign of depression, such as feeling sad, tired, hopeless, unmotivated, or experiencing changes in sleep or appetite. An episode is a period of time when several of those symptoms occur together and begin to interfere with your daily life. So are you experiencing a symptom of depression, or are you currently in an episode? Because understanding the difference can help you recognize what you're experiencing and empower you to take intentional steps toward healing. We'll discuss how simple but intentional lifestyle changes can make a meaningful difference, including getting at least 15 minutes of sunlight each day, nourishing your body with healthier foods, reducing your sugar intake, and maintaining your personal hygiene by taking regular showers, even on the days when you don't feel like getting out of bed. We'll explore the importance of changing the narrative that you tell yourself, having the difficult but necessary conversations with loved ones, adjusting your mindset, and intentionally choosing thoughts that promote hope, resilience, and emotional well-being. These habits are not a cure for depression, nor are they a replacement for personal mental health treatment when it is needed. However, they can become powerful tools that support your recovery, decrease the intensity of depression symptoms, and help reduce the occurrence of future depressive episodes. Small, consistent change often lead to meaningful progress over time. So join me today as we discover practical ways to move from surviving to thriving, one healthy choice at a time. Remember, giving up is never an option because your life has purpose. Your story isn't over, and you can win over depression. Welcome to Win Over Depression. I am your host, Tamara Trotter, depression overcomer, author, social work expert, proud Delta, loving daughter and sister, aunt to 8 and great aunt to 3. This podcast is your safe place for healing, growth, and real transformation. In this space, we explore faith, learning how to trust God even when we feel uncertain and overwhelmed. We also confront stress, understanding how it impacts your mind, body, and spirit, and how to manage it in a healthy, sustainable way. We navigate loneliness, processing the quiet moments where you may feel unseen or disconnected. And we unpack anxiety, exploring what it feels like to battle internally while still showing up externally. I am overjoyed that you are here to gain insight and inspiration from someone who has lived with chronic depression for most of their adult life. By His grace, I became well enough to pour into others. God always told me that my greatest testimony would come from my deepest pain. Let's be reminded about what God has to say about getting to our healing and changing our circumstances. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So let's just remember that, and I've always said this, whatever higher power you believe in, and I believe in God, He will never leave nor forsake us, and He will always be there holding us up no matter what. Healing from depression often requires strength to do small things, getting out of bed, taking a shower, going outside, and choosing hope. This verse reminds listeners that God provides that very strength. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are noble, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, Whatsoever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is any praise worthy, think on these things. Let's dive into today's episode, but before we do, let me tell you about my course, The 14 Days to Manage Depression. If you're ready to start your healing journey, the 14 Days to Manage Depression course is designed to give you structure and support when your mind feels overwhelmed by stress and worry. Instead of trying to figure everything out on your own, this course walks you through daily steps that help you slow down your thoughts, process your emotions, and begin to regain control in a healthy, manageable way. When stress feels constant and worry won't quiet down, having a guided plan helps you move from confusion to clarity. What makes this course especially powerful is that it just doesn't talk about healing. It gives you practical tools to apply in real time. Through guided activities, affirmations, and intentional reflection, you'll learn how to interrupt your negative thought patterns, build healthier habits, and respond to stress in a way that supports your mental and emotional well-being. It helps you shift from reacting to stress and worry to actually managing them. Most importantly, this course is rooted in faith. It helps you strengthen your connection with God while learning how to release what you cannot carry. As you move through the 14 days, you'll begin to feel more grounded, more supported, and more equipped to handle life challenges. So don't wait. Start your healing journey today. Just go to the show notes and go to course description, and you will find the link for the 14 Days to Manage Depression. So it's time to snuggle in your favorite chair, make that cup of tea, and get ready for today's episode. Grab a pen and a paper if you like to. There's some good stuff coming your way. Some people believe that it's impossible to overcome depression, especially if they have felt depressed for such a long period of time, and in their mind they just cannot fathom feeling any differently. But the truth is that healing often begins with small, intentional choices made consistently over time. So don't underestimate the power of daily habits. I have gone from major symptoms of depression, ongoing, 1 month at a time, 2 months at a time, to now experiencing 1 or 2 symptoms or episodes per month. And it took time, it took intention, and it didn't happen overnight. So it may seem insignificant, but every step that you take towards your healing starts to build momentum. Let's start with sunlight. If you stay in a dark room with the shades drawn, you're exacerbating your depression. But if you get 15 minutes of sunlight each day, it's beneficial. Sunlight helps regulate your body's internal clock and supports the production of vitamin D, which plays a role in mood regulation. So we know that feeling depressed is a mood. So when you get that 15 minutes of sunlight, it can improve your sleep, increase your energy, and encourage you to get moving. If you can take a short walk, sit on your porch, or simply stand outside and enjoy the fresh air, it is a small step, but small steps matter immensely. When you take a shower, even if you take a shower, put your pajamas on and get back in the bed, you have still awakened your body. That hot, warm water running down on your body is rejuvenating your mood. And I feel like at that point, you're actually washing off the depression. How about eating healthy? Oftentimes we forget that when we eat a lot of sugar, we exacerbate depression, because depression often causes us to crave foods that are high in sugar and unhealthy fats because they provide temporary comfort. Unfortunately, those foods can also contribute to energy crashes and mood swings. Instead, nourish your body with fruit, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and drink plenty of water. Your brain needs quality nutrition to function at its best. Think of food as fuel, not only for your body, but also for your mind. Let me be the first to say, I sometimes fall short. Sometimes I crave soda, but I know that I can't drink it every day. So I'm not saying take out everything that you love, but be cognizant of how much you're putting into your body. Because sugar may provide a temporary emotional boost, but it's often followed by a significant drop in energy and your mood. So if you're drinking several sodas a day or constantly reaching for sweets, just begin making small changes. Choose fruit instead of candy once a day. Progress is more important than perfection. Even healthier choices are steps toward taking better care of yourself. So let's discuss something that may sound incredibly difficult when you're depressed. So I talked about taking a shower. And so because you're not taking a shower, you're neglecting yourself. You're putting off basic self-care. So take a shower first thing in the morning, and that will help you start your day and feel motivated. How about changing your narrative? Oftentimes we have negative thoughts that permeate our mind and our thinking, and we concentrate on those thoughts. We have to replace that narrative with something different. The problem is that when we repeat the things that bother us or the things that we feel about ourselves and they're negative, we start to believe it. So we have to replace our thoughts with something that's balanced and encouraging. Instead of saying, I'll never get better, try saying, today is difficult, but I'm taking steps toward healing. Because as I've discussed in many episodes, depression will sometimes win. And when it does, dust yourself off, go to sleep, and try again the next day. Sometimes healing requires having difficult conversations with loved ones. Many people suffer in silence because they don't want to burden others or because they fear they won't be understood. But keeping everything bottled up often increases loneliness and emotional pain. If there's someone you trust, let them know what you're experiencing. You don't have to pretend that you're okay all of the time. Honest conversations strengthen relationships, reduce isolation, and remind you that you don't have to carry every single burden alone. One of the biggest things for me on my healing journey is that I thought that if I can't make myself feel better on my own volition, then that must mean I'm weak. That is not true. You're not weak and I'm not weak. We suffer from depression, which is due to a chemical imbalance in the brain through no fault of our own. And we have to fight harder to keep our depression at bay. But I'll be the first to tell you about my testimony, and I'm telling you that it's possible. And that's why the 14 days to manage depression is going to help you get on that path. The same journey that I took to wellness is waiting for you. So, how about the promotion of hope? Do you know how important it is to remain hopeful in life, to be resilient, and to realize that in order for our emotional well-being to stand the test of time and to deal with all the stress and to handle everything that we're going through on a daily basis, we have to maintain hope, because hope isn't denying reality. We're not saying that every situation and circumstance is going fine, but we must believe that our current circumstance does not define our future. and that when we have resilience, we continue to grow and we can choose to keep going despite disappointment, setbacks, and emotional pain. Every positive decision that you make strengthens your ability to face tomorrow. Remember, these daily habits are not a cure for depression, and they're not going to replace professional mental health treatment, but it is going to help you on a day-to-day basis, and it's a powerful tool that will support your recovery. And for me, I make sure that I accomplish at least 2 goals every single day, no matter what. And guess what? Getting up and making your bed is 1 goal. Getting up and taking a shower is 2 goals. But what happens is, as you continue to feel good about what you're doing, your mood changes. You get more energy. And now all of a sudden, you want to do the things that you've been putting off. And that's what happens. So healing is rarely about a giant leap. It is more often about taking one faithful and intentional step, one after another. So please never underestimate the power of one healthy decision, one walk outside, one healthy meal, one shower, one honest conversation, one encouraging thought. Those small choices add up, and over time, they can move you from simply surviving to truly thriving. So remember, you can do this. And I always want people to take into consideration who we allow to be in our ear gate, who we allow to pour into our lives. If we have people in our lives that are not exuding positivity, but they are negative, they are going to bring you down. You must surround yourself with people who support you, encourage you in the good times and the bad times. They're in your corner. They understand you. They appreciate you. They value your friendship and what they mean in your life, and vice versa. So I want you to remember from this episode, if you remember nothing else, this too shall pass, and one bad moment does not an entire bad day make. So if you're feeling today like things just aren't going your way, think about something positive. See how you can get to the next best step in your life, and believe that you can do it and you can get there, because you can. And it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. It's your journey, it's your healing path. As long as you keep going, as long as you continue to put one foot in front of the other, before you know it, you'll be across the football field, you'll be in the end zone, and you'll score that touchdown. You have to remember that it's all about your mindset, your beliefs, and what you pour into your spirit. Whatever you pour into your spirit is going to come out. If you pour positivity into your spirit, positivity will come out. If someone is pouring negativity into you, then that's going to affect your mood, it's going to exacerbate your depression, and it's going to move you into an episode of depression. So just be careful about how you move about, and by all means, guard your heart, because the heart is something that has an adverse effect on you if you're not trusting that your heart is that muscle that keeps you going each and every day. Before I let you go, I just want to remind you about the 14 days to manage depression. This is something that can be poured into your spirit, and it will allow you to start your healing journey with 14 days in front of you that is going to inspire you to get to the place that you deserve to be. So do the work to get there. Remember, it's in the show notes. Check it out. It'll be the best thing that you ever possibly could do for yourself, and you deserve it. Get it today. Don't delay. If this episode touched you in a special way, would you share it with a friend and let them know the benefit and the value? Would you also do me another favor? If you like what you heard, would you please take the time right now, 30 seconds, and leave a review on Apple Podcasts? Remember, giving up is never an option, and I'll see you next time. Take care.